So the Suns obviously lost the 2021 NBA Finals to the Milwaukee Bucks in 6 games. I felt they were going to win this series heading into the NBA Finals, but obviously I was wrong, so I had to take the L right there. But I have to say, the Phoenix Suns had an unbelievable year despite losing in the NBA Finals. You know, people have to realize that the 10 years previous, or I should say prior to this moment, the Phoenix Suns hadn't even made the playoffs. And all of a sudden, out the blue, they're in the NBA Finals this year. You know, Devin Booker, Chris Paul, Mikal Bridges, DeAndre Ayton, Cameron Payne. They had a very talented roster this year, and those guys deserve a lot of credit despite losing this series. So a lot of people are wondering, you know, what's next for the Phoenix Suns? You know, on one hand, there are Phoenix Suns fans out there that are really, really excited about the future because, well, you got a very good young core of really good players, along with some veteran players like Chris Paul and Jamison Crowder. Or I should say Jay Crowder. Jamison Crowder plays for the, who does he play for? He's an NFL player. I get those guys mixed up. Bottom line, you know, you had Chris Paul and Jay Crowder as veterans, a good young core. And now this young core knows what it takes to win because they've gotten to an NBA Finals. They tasted a couple of moments of success in the NBA Finals. They won 2 games in the NBA Finals, you know? So this young core knows what it takes to get to the top, okay? Now they just have to find a way to finish things off, you know? And the next 5 years, and let me just say this. Over the next 5 years, if the Phoenix Suns were to win a championship, I won't be surprised because their organization is set up in a pretty good spot. And they have a good young core, like I said. However, I'm going to look at things from this perspective, and this is my overall opinion on the current state of the Phoenix Suns. I think the Phoenix Suns championship window is much more narrow than people realize. And what do I mean by that? What I mean by that is it's more than likely that they start to fall out of the championship picture over the next 4 to 5 seasons rather than them potentially getting back to the finals and resurrecting themselves, you know? I just don't think Phoenix has what it takes as currently constructed. Well, maybe I shouldn't say they don't have what it takes. I'll just say this. I don't see the Phoenix Suns getting back to the NBA Finals anytime soon. And you could say, well, they have a good young core. They were just there. Well, a lot of people said the same thing about the Orlando Magic back in 2009. Oh, the Magic, they're a really good team. They'll be back to the NBA Finals. But the Magic have not gotten close to the NBA Finals ever since, you know. People talked about, you know, Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, James Harden, Serge Ibaka. Oh, the Oklahoma City Thunder, you know, they lost to Miami, but they're a bunch of babies, you know, a good young core, really talented team. They'll be back. They'll win multiple championships. Didn't pan out that way. The Oklahoma City Thunder, as far as I'm concerned right now, today, they're irrelevant. They're not in the championship picture. And Kevin Durant and that team never even got back to an NBA Finals. The 2020 Miami Heat, who made it to the finals last year versus the Los Angeles Lakers, they completely fell off the map this year. And I'm sorry, unless Miami makes another big-time splashy move, I don't see them being in the championship picture going forward. I just don't. Okay? So, look, even when a team wins a championship, sometimes that team doesn't get back for a very, very long time. You know, the Dallas Mavericks in 2011, they won a championship. They haven't sniffed the NBA Finals ever since that moment. The 2019 Toronto Raptors with Kawhi Leonard, you know, they're an old, aging roster now. Kawhi Leonard no longer plays for the team. The Boston Celtics in 2008 with Kevin Garnett, Ray Allen, Paul Pierce, Hall of Fame level players. They got 1 championship. They have not sniffed the NBA Finals ever since. They've gotten close a couple times, but they haven't gotten back. The Cleveland Cavaliers in 2016 won the championship versus Golden State. People said, oh, Cleveland might be the next dynasty. Cleveland's a mess right now. And you have to think, what if Chris Paul leaves this team? I think Chris Paul realizes that this was probably his best opportunity to win a championship, and Phoenix probably is not going to get back anytime soon. Chris Paul could leave and join LeBron James and Anthony Davis, or I should say he could force his way out via trade potentially, And Chris Paul was the heart and soul of this team. He may not be the best player on the Phoenix Suns roster, but he was the heart and soul and arguably one of, if not the most valuable player on that team this past year. And I don't know if he's going to come back. And he's getting older and older, okay? Chris Paul's age really showed in the NBA Finals. Is a 37-year-old Chris Paul going to be able to make another deep postseason run and bring this team back to the championship? I'm not sure, And it's just one of those things where sometimes you get lucky breaks, you get to an NBA Finals, and sometimes it just may be, you got your best shot right there. You may never get back. And I think that Phoenix is in a situation where, yes, they have a young core of talented players, but we have to keep in mind how Phoenix got here. LeBron James and the Los Angeles Lakers were not 100% healthy. Anthony Davis was suffering from injuries in that series, barely could play. LeBron James was hobbled a little bit, The Denver Nuggets, who Phoenix beat along the way in the second round, they were down 2 starters. Jamal Murray and Will Barton didn't play. And I'm sorry, but if the Los Angeles Clippers had Kawhi Leonard by their side and Kawhi Leonard didn't get hurt, I think the Los Angeles Clippers would have been in the NBA Finals. They took them 6 games. The Phoenix Suns. The Clippers took the Phoenix Suns 6 games without Kawhi Leonard. Okay? If you add Kawhi Leonard, one of the top 5 players in the NBA, to that equation, I think that equation equals Clippers winning that series. So, I don't know. I think Phoenix's championship window is much more narrower. I should say. My words got twisted right there. Sorry. I'm not the best at, articulating my words at times. But I think the Phoenix Suns championship window is closing rather quickly. It's crazy to say that because they just were in the NBA Finals, but that's ultimately how I feel about the current state of the Phoenix Suns. Thank you so much for watching this video today. Please also note that the Juiciest Sports Podcast is not just a YouTube channel. It is available on all podcasting platforms, including Spotify, Google Podcasts, iTunes, and Apple Podcasts. Also, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share this content with all your friends. This podcast is my favorite thing in the entire world right now. It is my passion. And I want more people to listen to this podcast. I really want this podcast to grow. Also, a fun fact about me is that I want to go into the sports broadcasting and media world once I graduate from the University of Toledo, a college in Northern Ohio. I am looking to become one of the next great sports broadcasters and analysts out in the world. And I potentially would like to start my own network if this podcast really truly grows. Or if I fall short of that goal, I would love to work for a big-time network like ESPN or Fox Sports 1. I am open to all networks. So if you believe in my dreams and you see or hear my passion through the screen, be sure to tell all your friends about the Juiciest Sports Podcast. Stay motivated, you guys. Have a God-blessed day, and I'm out.